What is up? Episode 26 of the Austin Stand-Up Comedy Podcast. If you guys haven't heard this, the goal of this podcast is to, talk about some stand-up comedians in Austin. What I like about them, any funny stories I remember, any first impressions, right? Any first weird, wild impressions. In hopes of injecting some positivity back into the scene while we all wait on our couches to get back out there and start slanging jokes again. Got a couple comedians I'd like to talk about today. I'd like to talk about Pat Dean. I'd like to talk about Shannon Mugrage. And I'd like to talk about Lando Shepard. So let's just get into it. Let's just get going. Pat Dean is a funny man. I think I saw Pat Dean for the first time at Cap City. He has a great level of unexpectedness to his comedy. And I saw his Cap City set that was recorded a while ago. One of my comedian buddies actually sent it to me. And I think he headlined Cap City toward the end of last year or maybe this year. I can't remember, which is pretty fucking badass. So shout out to you, Pat. The stuff he does with Danny Goodwin is hilarious at Velveeta Room for the mic they do on Thursdays. I get some real joy out of that. But also, I think the joke that I remember, one of the first jokes I remember him telling was how somebody had cast him to play a security guard in a film. I don't want to give the joke away, but that was a really funny joke. Yeah, he's initially to me seemed a little intimidating. But then also just, seeing him out and he bartends at Velveeta for the open mic. And he's always been super nice. And I think one day I had walked in and he was like, "Hey Ryan, what can I get you?" And I was like, "Oh, fuck yeah, dude. If somebody remembers my name, I love it." It's fantastic. So I thought that was really cool of him. Yeah, also has really funny Facebook posts too. I really enjoy seeing his Facebook posts. But that's all I got on him. So shout out to you, Pat. Hope you're doing well. Let's talk about Shannon. Shannon I've seen, I haven't really seen that much. I've only seen him twice, I think, actually perform. I know he's good. I've seen him at Velveeta Room. He has a really funny joke about sending his kids to another country. Hopefully I didn't stomp on the punchline there. But if you see him, it's still going to be funny. He's pretty cool. Has an ease to his delivery. Pretty chill. I've seen him at, I also saw him at, what's the one that Blake and Allison do? Fourth Tap. I saw him at Fourth Tap, and he did really well. So I don't know much about him. I think that him and his wife do the Turn 2, maybe, I think. So that's cool. I don't know why. I guess it's just a plug for their team there. But I've seen him interact with people on Facebook comments too, and he seems like he's got a good head on his shoulders. So shout out to you, Shannon. Hope you're doing well. I don't really know you, but doesn't mean I can't wish you well. All right, and then the third comedian I'd like to talk about is Lando Shepard. So I actually do have a story about Lando that is really funny to me. Hopefully it'll be funny to y'all. I've seen Lando a bunch of times. He has a really good joke. I don't know if you want. I don't know why I'm thinking about this so much. It's a joke about pronouns, but it's a really interesting spin on it. I'll leave it at that. But that joke made me laugh really hard, and it made a lot of people laugh really hard because when I saw him do it at Cap City. But the funny story that I remember from Lando was we were all at Parlor, and it was a full list. Like it was really like it filled up really quickly. And if you've been to Parlor, you know there's a pool table right when you get into the bar. And sometimes people will be playing, but then once the open mic starts, usually people wrap up their game and they're done. Some people continue to play while comedians are performing. Usually they're respectful, you know. This particular night was 2 women and 2 guys that were on the pool table. They were dressed like they were going to go out, you know, to a club. I'm not sure why the Parlor was the spot they chose. But it's neither here nor there. That's where they decided to go. So they were playing pool. They were being pretty loud. As the night went on, they got louder and drunker. And one of the girls, I remember she was wearing boots too because she was really loud when she was walking. But she got really drunk. And as I was sitting at the bar and I had a beer in front of me, and she walked up to me and reached across and grabbed my beer and was about to drink it. And I grabbed it and I was like, hey, that's my beer. And she's like, I'm sorry, that is mine. And I was like, well, no, it's not yours. So it was a little offensive. I mean, it was pre-corona, but nowadays, I mean, those are fighting actions nowadays. You know, you got to start swinging on somebody if they drink your beer. Your life's at risk. So she just kind of kept doing drunker things. And then eventually she went up to the host and was looking at the list and asked to go on. And I don't know this for sure. Maybe it's a little speculation on my end, but it seemed like Lando was a little upset about that. I think we were all a little upset about that. But anyhow, I don't want to speak for everybody. She ended up going up, like next, and she was drunk. And she essentially just shitted on all the comics that went up before her. She's like, you don't have to do jokes about your dick and talk about women and blah, blah. And like, just kind of like went off. I mean, she had some decent points, but it was like, I don't know, it was weird. It wasn't really like, it wasn't stand up. It was just somebody going and venting about how bad of a time they were having for the free performance that they were receiving. And, you know, I use the word performance lightly, but anyhow, so by the end of the set, she had said that she was there with her brother because I think she said her parents had both died recently or something like that. Some kind of sob story. So when she got off, everybody was like really nice and clapped, and Lando followed her and started going in on the fact that she had been bitching about like comedians. But also one of the things he said is he goes, yeah, man, I'm just glad I can go out after this, take my parents out to dinner. You know, both my parents, I could take them out to dinner if I want to. And like, I know she heard it, but they were like pretending to not pay attention. And within, I think by the end of his set, they had left. So it wasn't heavy-handed, to me at least. I was looking at the bartender, Brian, and we like doubled over laughing. Because I was like, good Lord, he's not mincing any words for these people. But I mean, I don't know. I thought it was funny. There's a weird dynamic between audience and comedians sometimes where like when you see a heckler, you want to see somebody get them. But it's also tricky about how you do it, because I have seen some people who heckle or even just talk loudly throughout people's sets. And when certain comedians go after them, it comes off weird. It comes off like it's a weird, like you have to be kind of tactful about it, because if you go in too hard, it's like the audience will turn on you. And you're like, hey, yeah, you need to say something, but not that, you don't need to go that hard. But also if you try and you fail, then, you know, that doesn't work either. I remember there was a guy playing pool, and during my set, I think it was it was a Parlor. And I don't remember his exact line, but he was on the 8 ball, and I stopped my set and I said, hey man, we're supporting you, you know, don't choke. And he shot it and it bounced off the wall and went into a different hole. And I was like, oh man, wrong hole. And he goes, yeah, you know about that. And I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, oh shit, I shouldn't have stopped my set. But shout out to whoever that random dude was, asshole. But yeah, so that's my Lando story. Lando's a funny dude. Shout out to Lando. Hope you're doing well. That's all I got for this episode. Thank you guys for listening. If you're a stand-up comedian, I'm going to be talking about you at some point. I feel uncomfortable about that laugh. But stay safe, stay healthy. Stand-up comedy will be coming back soon. Have a great rest of your day.